Hey guys, so I learned that POEGuy is not going to be playing Siege Ballista for 3.29. That's really unfortunate. I love Siege Ballista. I hope you do too. I think it's a really powerful build that can scale to infinity and beyond, and it can also be started relatively easily and cheaply, and basically become an up to you kind of thing where you want it to stop.
Your absurd defiance ends here, hatchling.
The appointed time is here.
The hatchling surprises.
Oh, couple left. You can also start basically at nothing, and POEGuy thinks that the patch notes mean that the build is dead or is unapproachable to new players. Hopefully over the next, oh god, I hope it's going to be a half an hour or less. I'll show you, hopefully, in POB and in demonstrations, what the difference is between the pre-nerf to the current version of the build and what it should look like when we're done. Alright, so I logged over to Bender, one of my favorite dudes, so that we can talk through this. So, patch notes. Ritual of Awakening now has 3% more damage per summoned totem, previously 5%. So POEGuy basically said the damage nerf and the fact that synthesis stuff can't be obtained anymore. We can no longer have synthesis items anywhere from anything except for uniques. So basically POEGuy said, hey, this basically kills my starter. Unfortunately, he's going to be starting with direct hit EA Ballista. I think it's going to be really amazing. He's done a lot of league start testing, and if you want to have a sure bet, you should absolutely start with that. Follow him throughout his journey. He creates builds specifically for new players, and he's got an entire playthrough from start to maps. I'm going to be following his build as well for leveling, start to maps. But I do want to transition into Siege Ballista. He says it's dead. I think that it's fine. So, what actually happened? I'm going to hope that POB doesn't crash on me. This is the web version of POB. It's not super stable. So, right now, we've got Ritual of Awakening giving us 5% more damage per summoned totem. I'm going to take that. Oh, let's check our damage before we do that. So this is fresh at transition at 1400 dexterity. We've got about 1.5 million damage. This is like what yellow maps start. Yeah, yellow maps. That's the current. And if we take off Ritual of Awakening and put into the custom modifiers what Ritual of Awakening will be, which is 3% more damage per summon totem, you and your totems regenerate over. That's the same as it's been. And what I've added in here is bow attacks fire an additional arrow. And what's going to happen is that we're going to have 30% quality by default. And our barrage support is going to go from currently giving us 62% less damage. It's going to go all the way to 40% less damage. Now, POB doesn't scale that high. It only lets me put in level 40 maximum into the barrage support, which only takes it to like 54 or something. Come on. Yeah, only up to 56. But you can see that our damage has actually already gone up, and I think that's going to continue to be the trend. I have I'm going to have this POB saved for in the job. Oh, hello. I will have the POB saved in the description. It's going to hopefully be a little bit more stable. And you should be able to guide yourself through it. The early POB focuses on early gear. The entire gear set here is going to be for I'm level 86. I have 8 passives unallocated, so I'm going to be level 78 when I put this on. Here's what the tree looks like. You are basically sticking fluid motions into many places, throwing a fluid motion in here in order to convert this Fury Bolts from 20 strength to 20 dex, a careful planning in here, and of course just a basic jewel with dexterity and strength. And this gets you good enough. The rings, you just straight up you buy them from trade for 1 chaos. You need intelligence, strength, resist, and you can craft lightning. And dexterity, life, intelligence, crafted modifier. High Reach Truth is the same as starter as the POEGuy started. The difference is that I have turned on Leader of the Pack in order to get reservations, so I am turning on the precision from it, the precision aura. And I'm running without the fourth lab, without the Uber lab. I'm running without the ferrule. So let's run a map. Dunes. So the different, and I want to explain carefully here that, I'm at 2.4k life. This is an early red map. This is not the same as this kind of map, right? You need to make sure that you are running content that's appropriate. Got the woods down. You got to make sure that you're running content that's appropriate for the gear level that you are at. If you're at 1400 dexterity, you're on a 5 link. By the way, here's my Barrage support, my Siege Ballista gem. Everything is still in leveling setup. I have a 4 link bow. With the Mana Forge, I'm going to be self-casting my Frost Bomb and my Ice Golem, and my Blood Rage. The Blood Rage doesn't do anything. It's there for attack speed. It's not there to generate frenzy charges. Okay, so this is appropriate content for this gear level. You should be having a pretty smooth time. There is a concern from POEGuy players and enjoyers that have followed him that Barrage support is going to create problems with clear. As you can see, there are no problems with clear. Again, this is on a 5 link in early reds. I don't want to level Bender.
My mana is spent. I must have time to go.
Just remember that you are an evade-based build. You are a bow-based build. You are not playing Fox's RF that can stand there and scratch its ass. You are not playing even POEGuy's EA Ballista. You are an evade-based character, so act appropriately. You do have multiple defensive layers to keep you alive and standing, but at the end of the day, it is a bow character, so make sure that you are constantly bowing. Yay! Let's go fight that boss and POEGuy on out. As you can see, the damage is acceptable for early red maps, Alkin of all. It is not going to be appropriate if you are trying to make a 16 mod or a tier 16 8 mod map happen on the same character that's only got 1400 dexterity and is on a 5 link. So this is an issue that a lot of new players come in and say, hey, I've got issues, I'm getting killed by everything. What content are you doing? Are you doing content that is above what your build is capable of doing? So by the time you get to end of red maps, the 1400 dexterity is not going to be enough. Level 78 is not going to be enough. You're going to and the total budget of, I don't know, maybe 20 chaos that we're looking at here for everything that we're wearing is going to be not enough. you will move into maybe like a 1 or maybe 5 divine budget. As you move up, you're going to want to grab an Astramentus. You're going to want to grab split personality. I like it with strength because it's cheaper than with life, but it still gives you like most of what you need. You're gonna, since you're no longer using the Highest Truth, you can go ahead and remove the reservation wheel. Now, these rings are made simply by buying a ring with T1 dexterity and a T1 resistance and slapping a Redeemer Exalted Orb on it. That's literally it. And then crafted life. Same thing again. I think that I actually created these in the example video, so feel free to check it out on how to scale the build. You're going to want a brisk scrap. You can self-corrupt these, especially if POEGuy isn't playing the build. You can buy up brisk scraps for like 1 chaos, and then just chain corrupt them. So anyway, you can corrupt one for yourself really quickly. The reason why we're doing Redeemer rings is because you can get the Redeemer rings really early in progression. You can just buy random ones from players that are already Redeemer based and put a couple of Sorrow Essences on it, or you can buy decent rings that came out of a tree or just from random ground loot and then put a Redeemer orb on it. The reason why we do that is because this becomes a lot available a lot sooner because of Bound by Destiny. Bound by Destiny is a random drop from the quest mobs, these guys. The Moment of Loneliness, Trauma, and Reverence. One of the bosses drops it, but you know, at League Start, thousands of players are doing these bosses, so these things drop, and the Dexterity one is considered a throwaway. So you get this thing for a handful of chaos, you get this thing for a handful of chaos, and you get this thing for a handful of chaos, and you don't have to wait for synthesized rings anymore after that. You get 15% dexterity, which is the same power as both of the rings, which would have been 7 and 7, and you get 1% extra just for not buying a Watcher's Eye, which is crazy expensive and not really League Start viable. You want to start looking at Brutal Restraints as well. Oh, by the way, missed the whole point. There is an FAQ, but more importantly, a Notion FAQ. I'll link down to it. But more importantly, there's a progression guide made by Zephyr. I'll link the link down to his YouTube channel, but he made this entire website for POEGuy, and then when POEGuy said that officially he's only doing the EA Ballista progression straight into Shrapnel Ballista, he said, hey, I'm going to make you your own progression guide. So, you know, this is the EA phase, the early Siege, with all of the notes, what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to buy, what kind of flasks you're supposed to have, what kind of gear you're supposed to buy, what are your clusters, everything that's in here is absolutely amazing. I'm so grateful for the work that he's doing. He's one of the people that's really passionate about POEGuy's Siege Ballista, so we made a lot of progress by it. Yep, progression made by Big Cookies. Anyway, I will link to his YouTube down below. And then the other resource is Notion. This was made in collaboration with Riotix, another passionate Siege Ballista player, also was a moderator on the POEGuy server. Answers common questions like, what content should I be running? What do I have to if I don't have enough mana to run my auras? What flasks should I use? And, you know, goes into great detail and breakdown. How do I get my Fertile Ascendancy? By the way, I'm going to need to do that. Okay. Oh, and importantly, this thing has a Timeless Jewel guide on how to find a Timeless Jewel for Siege Ballista. It walks you through step by step how to get the nodes, how to look for stuff, how to do all the things, what's important, how do you actually look for it on the trade site, what filters you open up. You can buy a cheap seed using that guide That's actually going to land stuff that has flat 20 dexterity on it, projectile damage, 5% dexterity here, and 5% dexterity here. This is a fantastic jewel. I think I paid 100 chaos for it at some point during the league, towards the beginning, mostly because I was following this little guide. You want to go ahead and start making more value out of your jewel slots. Jewel slots are very valuable, so putting in, say, a Light of Meaning for +2 to all attributes is going to be really beneficial here. Finishing out this wheel for an additional arrow is going to be very beneficial because Barrage now counts how many arrows you do, and if you watched the previous video, you know that by default, Siege Ballista doesn't shotgun. Barrage now makes all of the arrows fire sequentially, so now it does shotgun. What else do we need here? The belt. You can stay with this belt if you want. It's just, Stygian Vice with a couple of essences thrown on it, the Essences of Sorrow. You can, let's see if I can make one live. So instead of a synth belt, here's what I'm going to just show you because I have one made. So right now I'm at 1800 dexterity. Wow, that's pretty perfect. Actually, anyway, with a synthesized belt, I jump to 1970. If I put on a Stygian Vice instead, with the mods that I'm about to show you how to make, I'm at 1977. It's literally not a big deal to lose the synthesized belt. It's not a big deal to lose the synthesized rings, and it's not a big deal to lose the Watcher's Eye that was going to be super big budget anyway. Let me go ahead and make the belt so I can show you that process. Hopefully it's not going to be too long of a trap that I'm going to set you in here for. All you do is you grab yourself a Stygian Vice, you make sure that it's level 82 or above, item level 82 or above. You grab an Elder's Exalted Orb. It can be Hunter as well, it doesn't matter. And then you go to Essence Prison for increased attributes. Now this takes between 60 and 80 essences, so if they are 2 or 3 chaos a piece, you can do the math on it. Your alternative here is son of a gun. Or you could get lucky. This was lucky. The other one that I made was literally 200 essences, so do be prepared for that. You can finish it off with max life. Since we have an open suffix, I can also do a resistance or a dual resist. Let's see what things look like. And into this thing, by the way, what we're going to socket is, first we're going to use our catalysts. If you're allowed to use this, part of the Q&A said that you're able to use this genteel doodad whatever in order to change an attribute from one to the other, and you don't need to. And they said that it doesn't follow the requirements for the item base. So if that's true and you're able to make a belt have a dexterity attribute, you can just buy any base of belt with the 12% dexterity rolled on it and a high tier of strength, and make that strength into a dexterity, and that might be a cheaper alternative to making this happen. So just thought of that tip for you guys. So this puts us from 1800 up to 1971. So it is now maybe worth a stretch to get up to 2000. So at the moment I'm level 86. I'm going to go ahead and grab this ballistics node. There's a bunch of other ways that you could path to to get over the 2K number. But all of this is fairly low budget. I think at this point, the gear, this thing would have been like, what, 40, 50 chaos, maybe 100 chaos. This thing, I don't think I would pay more than 2 divines for it. This is, 20 chaos, 20 chaos. One of these, do it yourself. As you can see, you're only getting 1 point of whatever else is on here other than the sleepless sentries. You have 1 sleepless sentries and 1 jewel socket. Into the jewel socket, the split personality, the first couple of days will run you quite a bit. Wait until these come down to under 1 divine. If we do that, and we put in a 6 link, the bow can stay 4 linked or 5 linked. You don't have to get a new helmet. You do need to get new boots. These are going to be a divine, but they will solve most of your life issues. Not your life's issues, but your life issues. And bada bing bada boom, you kind of look like that. Oh, what did we lose? Dexterity on. I see. So we got to make another bit of stretch, and what we're going to do is drop the point that totems taunt. This is a huge safety thing. I do recommend just keeping that if you can. And we're going to reroute this. So now we have 2 points available, and we're going to allocate them up here to attack speed and plus 20 dexterity. That solves us back over the 2000 number that we need to hit. We still have enough mana to cast everything. Let's see how this map feels like now. Oh, okay.
My mana is spent.
Okay, and there we go. I'm able to put down at least a couple of totems, and the map is now fine. Anyway, this is where I feel the build is good enough to just stop. It can take on Legion and Timeless encounters totally fine. It can clear all of these mobs without too much issue. Again, this is on a random map with more monster life. Yikes. 8 modifiers, reduced stuff. Basically, stuff that's just a random map that you open, that you evolved into. At least Bender's XP is going down. Yay. So you're able to clear legions just fine. I want steel skins with them, actually. At 2000 dexterity and a 6 link, this build is quite comfortable, even considering that it's only 3.3k life. From here, you're basically the rest of the way you're scaling life on the tree for the rest of the build up to your progression up to level 90. So, in essence, the survivability just goes up from here. The build's good enough to clear all content. It has screen wide AoE. It's fine. If you're not jumping into literally the middle of the of an entirely fully spawned breach, the build has enough durability to handle anything that you need it to handle. Let's see if I can grab whatchamacallit. Invitation. This is maybe 8 or 9 divines on league start. Like maybe day 3 pricing, day 4 pricing. convenient, but not the right one. Let's do it anyway.
I've got some wealth for you.
Energize the spheres.
Alright, where's the spheres? There they are. 1, 2. Oop, there's the last one.
You guard.
Spent.
Apparently I can take the beam. I am manually spawning the ice golem and the frost bombs in order to slow down Maven's healing and in order to reduce his
Sold
resistances.
something while you were gone.
Let's see how Eater handles. Oh god, do I have to buy them from people? So the nice thing about Siege Ballista is that for the Exarch, you're able to block some of the balls with your totems, and if you dance around inside of them, you'll be able to skip some of that damage.
Disintegration. Cleansing. Annihilation. The fires of 1,000 suns.
So let's see if that works out for us today.
Strength hatchling. This realm
Nope.
shall be studied by flame for eternity.
We've made a trade.
Maybe, but I mean, other than that, skill issue. Right?
Disintegration. Cleansing. Incineration. Improbable.
Until the others arrive to challenge me for this realm.
Okay, so it works like that. I'm not sure if this variation of the build would be good enough to run 5 ways. But this is basically, you know, medium budget. We're looking at under 10 divines to get it to this point.
I must have time to gather my will.
The damage isn't good
Go
enough.
with God.
Ah, damn it! I didn't want to level Bender. But yeah, this damage isn't good enough. As you can see, it's taking a good while to take down the generals.
My mana is spent.
So if you don't want to stop at that point, you can continue going on the build. Your major improvements are going to be from then on in the jewels and in the way that you scale stuff. Of course, levels are going to be super important. I think that a comfortable level where you can push the build into would be like 3,600 at that, or sorry, 2,600, 2,400 maybe. You know what? Let me show you. And at this point, you would be focusing on defenses, trying to get a defensive package up, because at 2,600, you will have already scaled into all the damage that you need.
We've made a trade.
So if we go into this domain of timeless conflict, I'm running 3 specters here. 2,600. I've got everything automated, and the damage is, you know, it's not comparable. pushing to this point would probably be in the 25 to 30 divine range, and you'd have to go through a little bit of hassle to make your chest and your belt and all of that pick up all of the specters, things of that nature. The free quality that you get from next league from having the gem colors correct is actually kind of huge. It's going to give you a huge early boost in attack speed, which is going to easily counterbalance the loss in attack speed per projectile. I'm still going to have to do the math in terms of how many projectiles is too many projectiles, but I'm going to have to wait until POB is actually up to date. Okay, so let me focus on finishing a loop. A loop is supposed to take me 30 seconds as a benchmark for what would be acceptable for me in a very high clear speed. I think that POEGuy's trying to do this with Headhunter. That guy. I don't think that you need a Headhunter just for 5 ways, even in relenting ones. I think that this is fine. Again, I will test on day 2, or sorry, on day 1, using these exact same builds, see how they're performing, see if I can make the damage line up, see if the damage is actually bigger. As you can see again with Barrage support not being an issue at all for clear. Yeah, just about 28 seconds for or 32 seconds for a loop. 35? 32, 35, something like that. So right now it's on pace for going through a loop decently fast. You know, there's those KB guys that go through a loop in like 8 seconds. Not really something that you can do solo. She revives. Yeah, just about 35 seconds. Also, I guess this is going to be the last time that we see the I guess this is the last time that we see this implementation of 5 ways as well, with the next implementation being much more interesting, I hope. Alright, 10 seconds left. I don't think I'm going to try to do anything else.
I must have time to gather my will.
Anyway, I will leave a description of how I got to this point with the rare armor, the Stygian Vice. I've got a helical ring on. Actually, I did want to show something off. Again, this is
with me when you have a moment.
2600, 2606. It is literally point for point identical to wear a Stygian Vice as it is to wear the synthesized one. If you're not able to pick up the helical rings as a base, be on the lookout for well-rolled mirrored rings that are going to stick around. This thing's got ridiculous life, it's got ridiculous dexterity, it's got 32 to all elemental resistances. If I mirror this and I do a little bit of jank with getting the Bound by Destiny back to Redeemer with my bow being Redeemer, it's actually a higher dexterity count. So just an FYI, you can definitely take advantage of mirrored rings if they're going to be more affordable, probably, than helical rings and crafting stuff yourself. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you have a good league. Enjoy. Don't be discouraged by the fact that we lost synth items. Don't be discouraged by the fact that we lost the 2% off of the ascendancy. The buff to Barrage more than makes up for it, and there's alternatives for gearing that are fairly easy to achieve, and they line up a lot easier and faster than waiting for the days until gear becomes available that is synth related. Anyway, good luck. Hope you don't die. Do your stuff, and yeah. Okay, so I logged off and realized that I never showed the 1-to-1 comparison on the 22.6k dexterity build of how that looks like, and answer the question of, do the minions die?
Your absurd defiance ends here, hatchling.
We will win this together.
Incineration probable.
It looks good.
Others arrived to challenge me for this realm.
The minions did not die.
Check in with me when you have a minute.
Anyway. The other thing that I realized I didn't show the 1-to-1 comparison is, or didn't point out at all, is when I imported Bender as the mid configuration, I realized that I didn't show the Ferrule ascendancy and how to get it, because I do have it spec'd in the POB. So you go to the menagerie, you buy a beast named Ferric Tiger Alpha. You take him to the menagerie, this guy, Ferric Tiger Alpha. You take him to the menagerie, you say Ferric, and it says open a portal to Ferrule's Den. You don't die.
You are truly a survivor.
You need your fourth ascendancy, your lab done, so that you have the points free in order for them to be allocated. So you still need to do Azaro's lab in order to get the last 2 points. The Uber lab. When you're fighting this boss, he'll take you to the Magic Lands at around 50% health. Your only goal here is to find the 6 yellow beasts and kill them. This is basically the equivalent of a tier 14 map with no mods, so it's not a difficult instance. The boss can be quite deadly. He does a big physical damage stampede like that, so if you don't avoid it, you'll get smooshed. You do have 6 portals in order to finish the fight. All of the loot that he drops disenchants super good, so take all of the loot from him to your King's March, disenchant it, then you'll get the Ferrule bloodline and allocate it. Ta-da! So I did my final lab. I don't have the points allocated here, so I'm going to go Hunt Leader. Trigger Spectral Tigers on critical strike. So now whenever I crit, I'll have tigers pop up. The tigers provide me with attack speed and crit chance. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. Good luck. And oh god, you can stop talking now? Okay. Yeah.
Ahoy there!
I mean, that's cool. That's cool.